healthy today. I decided that we still had Christmas cookies that needed to be gotten rid of. And, you know, since it's been almost, I don't know, like 3 months, probably should find some use for them because I don't want to throw them away. What's the point of wasting? So the normal thing that you would do is you can make magic cookie bars with them and replace graham crackers, or you can use them for Nanaimos, which I think is an Australian cookie. I'm not going to do that because that takes just too much work and ganache and stuff. And you can also use them for pie crust because, you know, again, a replacement for a graham cracker, and it has extra sugar. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to replace the cookies for a pie crust. And since we have bananas to get rid of in my house, I decided to use bananas as well. And it's really a pain in the butt to try to find a pudding that doesn't use Jell-O pudding mix, or finding something that doesn't use 4 egg yolks. So I just decided that I was going to make a cheesecake filling. So this recipe is pretty simple. Well, I think it's pretty simple. So I got the recipe from Lady Cookbook, so I'm not going to follow it, obviously. But the recipe calls for 1.5 cups of graham cracker crumbs, 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter melted, 4 tablespoons of sugar, 2 bananas sliced, which would be on the bottom, that's the crust part. Then the filling is 16 ounces of cream cheese, 2 cups of heavy cream, 2 cups of powdered sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 bananas mashed, and then there's a topping, which is like whipped cream and sliced bananas. I am not following that. I am kind of using that as a skeleton of sorts, but we will basically follow it for the graham cracker crust. So we're going to pour this, which I pretty much just put in the food processor, so there's going to be little bits that you can get like nosh onto for gingerbread cookies. There's a lot. And then we are going to put in the melted butter. Now you can use an oil if you'd like, it's just not going to be the same though. I use salted butter. I know they say don't use unsalted butter because you can't control the salt that's in it, but I like the extra flavor. Now if you're someone who has high blood pressure, then you may want to do the unsalted and then control it as you can. So that looks all mixed together, basically. So I'm going to pat this down into a tart pan because I'm not necessarily going to do a cheesecake as much as a tart because I want to use more crust. I probably made too much. Oh well, I can live with that. I want to push that down. I should probably have mentioned that you should probably also have a broom so you can sweep up all the cookie crumbs because there will be some on the floor. I'm also going to make myself a little one so I can actually try it while I give this one to other people. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, now we have to make the filling. So the filling's kind of a two-parter. We're going to do bananas and cream cheese and sugar in one section, and then we're going to whip the cream in the other section, as well as put vanilla extract. Now this recipe calls for lots of powdered sugar. As much as I said I wasn't going to do healthy, I don't feel comfortable even eating something that has that much powdered sugar in it. And because I'm cutting down the recipe to a half filling because it's going to be a tart and not a regular cheesecake, I'm actually going to use more bananas, no powdered sugar, maybe a little bit of stevia. So in this one, I'm going to use a food processor because I really don't want to mix while I hand mix and whip up the heavy cream. So we're going to throw in the bananas in this one. Because if I halved the recipe and did powdered sugar, it would only be 1 banana. I'm going to do 2 bananas to add up to the bulk. And try to get as much fiber sections as you can because that is going to change how smooth the consistency is. Okay, and now we're going to add in the cream cheese. You can use any type of cream cheese you want. You could also probably get away with using mascarpone. So that is the cream cheese. And then instead of powdered sugar, I'm going to use, again, a little bit of stevia. I use about 8 packages worth of stevia if you get them for your coffee. It equates to about, let's see, I used 8 packages, 2 grams per, so 16 grams. So that's about 1 tablespoon, about 1 1/4 tablespoon, or 1 1/3. So about a tablespoon and a teaspoon worth. So, okay, so that's ready to go. I'm actually going to freeze the crust because I actually saw that that's what it said. And then I'll let that run while I'm doing everything else. Also to say that I actually added the vanilla bean paste into the whipped cream, or what will soon be whipped cream. I didn't use the vanilla extract. It allows it to have the nice little speckles, which I love. And it also adds a little tiny bit more sugar to it. So I think that'll help balance everything else out as compared to using the vanilla extract. Okay, that's good. And That's good too. You can kind of see that there are stiff peaks, but not too stiff. So we are good with the cream and we're good for the custard. So we just have to mix them together now. We want to fold it in. So I'm not pouring all of it in, A, because I don't want too much of a filling, and B, because there are some little cream cheese chunks in there and banana chunks in there that I don't want to add. So I kind of eyeballed to make sure that I didn't mix it all in there. Okay, that looks pretty good and mixed. Looks like a nice little, almost looks like it's a vanilla bean custard. I think you should see it. There you go. Looks kind of like vanilla bean. Let's have a little taste. Ooh, nice little jiggly already now. That is definitely creamy, cheesecakey goodness, and it's not too sweet either. So I think it'll go really well with the crust. Speaking of which, let's take those out now. Okay, so let's spoon, well, I'm not gonna spoon this. I'm gonna use the spatula just to kind of help it in. Just kind of spread it. Of course, I'm a little itty bitty one I'm gonna have for myself because I did a long hike today. I deserve it. Well, I guess. That's what I'm gonna tell myself. Looks like we are good to go. So we are going to put this in the refrigerator for about 4 hours for it to set, since there's no bake. All right, so I took out the little one because the big one I'm just gonna leave to set overnight because I'm bringing it somewhere else, but the little one is for me. So let's try a little piece here. I'm actually kind of glad that I did not like bake this because it is very crusty, quote unquote. Actually, it's really good. It's almost like having ice cream because of how long I left it. It's a nice creamy consistency, but it's also not too sweet because I didn't add a lot of stevia and I didn't add a lot of powdered sugar. Because I added the banana, the extra banana that it would have been if I would have done only half a recipe, I still ended up getting a sweet but not too sweet flavor. And because I used bananas that were overripe, I had a sweeter flavor with it. And overripe was also useful because it broke down more, so less fibrous, so it gave you a smoother consistency. So, overall, success! I would 100% recommend this. It wasn't too easy to make. It wasn't too easy to, it wasn't too hard to make. Other than the crust, it's pretty keto because you have the cream cheese and the cream, the stevia and the banana. Well, the banana is not very keto, but it's healthy and low processed sugar, so that's a positive. And then you can always use something else for your crust instead of gingerbread. So try out different things, see what works, see what doesn't work, put different toppings, like I suggested to do whipped cream and bananas. You can throw in nuts on top or throw in, like I have, extra gingerbread pieces or gingerbread crumbs. So I may throw that on top later, but otherwise, try it out and see how you like it. If you have any other suggestions or anything you would want to try it or anything that you would change, put it in the comments below and I will definitely look at them. So enjoy and see you later. And I'm gonna keep eating this because it's mine.